Welcome back to MacBreak Studio. We're here looking at motion, in particular, some things you want to show us with text and 3D. And
yes.
Yes,
exactly right.
Yes, yes. Just what you said.
So the motivation here is doing some things with 3D text in motion that you cannot do in Final Cut Pro. So Final Cut Pro has the entire 3D text engine in it,
right,
where you can style text and add materials and
right,
do lighting and stuff. Mm-hmm. But it exists separate. It can't be put in an environment. But in motion, you can add an environment. You can add floors and ceilings and shadows
and lights.
And lights. But there's a little bit of a trick on actually having the text intersect something. And that's what I want to focus on here. And I'll show you why when we get done and see if it seems like a reasonable thing. So I've started with the word press kit, which you pronounce like if you're in marketing and you need to provide a press kit to the press. That's how I remember, so I don't pronounce it wrong.
It's not Prescott.
Right.
If you say that and you're here, we immediately know you're from somewhere
And
else.
I've already made it 3D because this is not really a lesson on creating and styling 3D text. We've got lots on those. So I've created this nice big thing, but I'm going to double click to reset the camera so we see it here.
I'm sorry, the material looks like birds have crapped on it.
It's a damaged and distressed
like
material. In fact, it's called distressed. Okay. So my point is that in the library, I'm going to go to generators. I want a floor for this. So I could add a color solid into this group, and by default, it appears on top because it's on top in a layers list. So 3D text doesn't interact with other layers. It observes the layer order. If I move the layer down, all of a sudden it's behind.
Yes.
But if I rotate the camera,
it's moving the background as well.
We see it better on that side too. Yeah. So, and you're like, oh, well, they're just both in the middle, so I'll take the text and I'll move the text, forward a little bit.
You're looking for the blue arrow.
I am looking for the blue arrow. I can't see it because I'm on a blue background, so I'll just move it this way. And like, oh, wait a minute, that's not working at all. The text is on both sides. I can't make those intersect. So while that's true, I'm going to do that and put the camera back. You can still use these pretty well, so I'll make this white just so it's a little
good. It was hideous. The blue was hideous.
I'll hold Shift T down and maybe I'll make it like a floor, and I'll move the whole camera down so we can just see what's going on. And you might think, well, how can I cast shadows here? Well, the good thing, what you want to do in motion here is select the text and go to its lighting and turn off its lighting, and turn off the environment if you want to. You can turn that off as well. It doesn't really matter. I'll leave that on here. And we're going to add our own light instead of the built-in lighting. We'll have a new light, and I will make this light be a spotlight, and I will move it back and move it up and increase the intensity and narrow down the cone angle, but also increase the softness so we get a nice kind of soft throw of some light here. Back it up, up higher, and tilt it. And then I'll also take our color solid and make this extend back. And it doesn't show any shadow yet because lights by default don't have a shadow unless you enable shadow. So I'll enable shadows, and now you can see it's casting a shadow.
Yep.
Okay, so I just wanted to show you that you can, in fact, create a surface and move a camera around and have this 2D color solid. Of course, I can make it much bigger, reflect on that light, and you can move the light around. And that's great until you want the text to intersect that. Like if you wanted the text to be revealed, if I moved it down, it's never going to disappear below that floor. It's just not going to happen.
You're going to start talking about 3D groups next, aren't you?
Not 3D groups, no. What I'm going to do is, here's the trick. I'm going to turn off this color solid. The trick is, instead of a color solid, 3D text cannot intersect any other layers in motion like a generator or a video or other 2D text.
Sure.
But it can intersect other 3D text. So the trick is to make a floor out of 3D text.
So you're going to make a glyph like a square.
There we go. You're all over it.
A square glyph.
You're all over it like a cheap suit.
I just watched a tutorial you did when you did that with a glyph.
T for the text tool. I will click in the canvas, and then before I start typing anything, I'll go into the edit menu and choose emoji and symbols.
Yeah.
And I'm already on my bullets and stars category, and I have this black square selected. Now, a little bug, if you click it once, nothing happens. If you click it twice, you're going to get two symbols. Don't know why, but it's one of those fun things about motion. Escape, and it might not even be motion. Could just be the OS. And I'm going to make this guy really big, okay? So in the scale, I'm going to scale this guy up. Big, 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 big. And the anchor point's way in the bottom corner because it's a piece of text, so I need to kind of drag it over here and scale it up
And because
again.
that glyph was white, that's why it looks the way it is.
Yes. So, but the thing is, right now, it's a piece of 3D text, and if I go to, say, a side view of this whole thing, I want to make it 3D. So the appearance of this, I'm going to turn on 3D text, and immediately there's a big fat edge to it, which
Yeah.
I don't want. I'm going to make the depth very low, and I'm going to make the front edge size very small. So now we've got some thickness to it.
Right.
If I go back to the active camera, it's sitting here, but it's in front of my text. So what I'll do is in the properties, I'll move it back in Z space, and now it's actually intersecting the text. That's why it goes in front and behind. It intersects the text.
Only because it's another 3D text
Exactly,
object.
exactly. So now let's give it a texture as well. So I'll give it,
Oh, please use brick.
okay, I'll use brick. Okay, I will. I'll use brick. I think it's under miscellaneous.
Stone or, yeah.
Let's see, red brick. And
There we go.
Great.
See?
That looks cool.
That looks
I
like
like it. I like
Prescott.
it. Yeah. So let's take our light and adjust it a little bit. Let's increase the intensity. And there's no, right now it looks like there's no shadows, but let's change our view. What I'll do is go to the perspective view and back up quite a bit. And I'll show you where I'm going with this and angle it a little bit. And here's our light. And once again, this wall is a piece of 3D text. So
Yes.
we need to do the same thing where we select it and we change its lighting. So we change the lighting to off, and then the environment, we can also choose to turn off the environment so that it will only be lit by
The light.
this light here.
Yeah.
And we can crank that up and maybe get some a little bit of fall off on that. So now you can see how that light's affecting it.
It's really great.
And we've got some nice shadows on it as well.
Sure.
So if we go back to the active camera view, I'll just Control A for the active camera view. What we can do now is animate this text to emerge from the wall. So what I'll do is select the text and add our favorite text behavior, sequence text.
Yeah, that's your favorite.
It is. I'll trim it to last a little, about maybe 3 seconds. And then I'm going to push down these letters below this. So now when I play, let's also just increase the spread a little bit so they don't come in quite so staccato. And if we play that now,
Can you do it legato? Sorry.
I don't know if I could do it. But now these letters emerge from the wall because they are actually, inside that.
Yeah.
They emerge from it, and we have a nice shadow to them as well. And it's a pretty realistic effect. Turn it on its side a little bit, and maybe make this wall even bigger so that it covers the
It
full
covers
frame.
a frame, yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, so by using a 3D, as a text object made into 3D as a surface, we're able to have the 3D text intersect, and then you can create some interesting reveals of the text through that surface.
Right. That's so fantastic. So if you're interested in more of this, you've got to check out Mark's Motion Library at rippletrain.com. He covers a lot of this stuff. We have some great beginner tutorials for you want to get your feet wet with motion. Really great stuff. Check that out. Hope you found this useful, enjoyable. I always like what you create here in front of us. So check us out, Facebook, usual social media channels. We will see you in the next episode of MacBreak Studio. Thanks for watching.